Well, it's official now. The residents of the 50th Legislative District, which takes into account all of Greene County, parts of Fayette and Washington County, will not have a representative in the State House of Representatives for the remainder of the year. Bill DeWeese, he had stepped down on April 24th, the day he was sentenced basically for election fraud. And the House Speaker at the time said that, well, he wanted to talk it over with the commissioners for Greene, Fayette, and Washington County, because the cost would have been approximately $150,000. And Greene County, because it makes up the majority of the district, would have had to bear the most of the cost of the $150,000. So after meeting with the commissioners for the three counties, and everybody seemed to be pretty much in agreement that there really wasn't going to be a need for it. First of all, in addition to the money, they were calling for election. Probably the soonest an election could be held probably would be, say, July. And by then, the state budget would have already been passed, and leaving the state legislature wouldn't come into session then until September, and probably only going to be in session probably for maybe like the middle of October, because then there'll be all the members of the state house are going to be up for re-election, so they probably want to go home and campaign for that. And there would be maybe a couple weeks in between, like after the election, in between maybe the middle of November, middle of December, somewhere in there, maybe another couple weeks, and that would pretty much be it. So there really wouldn't be much time for whoever was going to be appointed. Plus, too, you have the idea that if you have a special election in July, who's going to turn out for it? This past primary, the voter turnout was only 20 to 25%. So you have to figure that it would be, the turnout would not be, in all probability, not be very good. So everybody just kind of decided that, the 50th district just won't have a representative for the remainder of the year. But the real shame of this is that if Bill DeWeese had stepped down when he was actually convicted back in late January, early February, then you could have had a special election on April 24th, and you could have had somebody who was ready to step in, say, the next day. But as it is, now there will be no representative for the rest of the year. So basically for 8 months, the residents of the 50th district won't have a voice. And you have to really wonder why Bill DeWeese, why didn't he step down? Initially, I think Bill, there was some talk about maybe trying to fight it or whatever. But within a day or two, he did realize that he was going to have to step down once he was actually sentenced anyway. So why didn't he step down so that the people of the 50th district could have representation for this year? Now, and this really wouldn't have affected. He could have still been on the ballot for the 2-year term, and for this fall. It just would have been for this year. So you just have to ask yourself, like, why didn't Bill step down? Why did he allow this situation to develop? So, and once again, it just, you just have to wonder, was it pride? Was it whatever? But in the end, it was a very selfish act. And you have to wonder, all the people that signed his petition for the 2-year term and all his defenders and stuff, how do they feel about this now? One of the things, too, was that he has 4 offices now. They did say that the Democrats are going to allow him to keep the offices open in Waynesburg and Hiller, but the offices in Fredericktown and Masontown are going to have to close. So if people with problems or whatever, they're going to have to drive to either Waynesburg or Hiller now. So again, you kind of have to wonder, what exactly the people who supported Bill and defended him through all this, what do they think? How can you defend what he did? And then also, too, you still do have the question now of, okay, he's on the ballot for the fall election. There doesn't seem to be any way that he can be taken off the ballot. He would have to step down and withdraw his name, I believe, about the middle of August. He has until then to do that. But if he doesn't do that, and if his appeal is not overturned, and he doesn't not granted a new trial, come November or come the end of the year, he's not going to be allowed to assume office, even if he does win in the November election. So there is a strong possibility then that probably they would just wait until the primary to have a special election to fill the next 2-year term. So meanwhile, Greene County could go, well, the 50th legislative district could go without having a representative for over a year, just because Bill DeWeese was too proud to step down. So, and you just wonder how the people who have been very supportive of Bill and backed him all through this ordeal, what they think. And in the end, that's really what matters, because it's going to affect the residents of the 50th district much more than it's going to affect residents outside the 50th district. So if you're in the 50th district, what do you think? We'd like to hear what you have to think. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At theherald-standard.com, our mission is to provide news, information, and services to enable our communities to prosper. Every day, we strive to achieve this goal through 3 dynamic products. Wake up each morning to a copy of the Herald-Standard.com newspaper delivered to your home. Enjoy the e-edition and exact replica of our print product on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Or secure unlimited access to our full-coverage digital news site online at Herald-Standard.com. One local news leader, 3 great options.
Okay, welcome back. And so as we were saying, I look forward to hearing what anybody might have to say about Bill DeWeese, and what do you think about this situation where this seat is now going to be vacant at least through the end of the year, possibly through next May, if Bill does end up winning the November election but can't take the seat because the verdict hasn't been overturned by then. So we'll see what happens, but we also welcome any input or any questions or anything that you have. Please feel free to send me an email at mokeefe@heraldstandard.com or 8-18 Church Street, Uniontown, PA 15401. And just be sure to put your name and phone number so we can call to verify it. So once again, I want to thank you for watching. My name is Mark O'Keefe. I'm Executive Editor for Herald-Standard.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.